I also want to put a special welcome to our new class of our community, the class of 2023. Friends, we are so excited that you are here, and we're excited about the goodness you're going to bring to our community. And so I hope that you feel welcome and that our hospitality has brought you in thus far. Now, as there's so many of you and of our transfers, it means that not everybody here knows me that well. So as we get going, I thought there's a few things you should know. So first, my first girlfriend ever. Oh, you think that's funny? Just wait. So my first girlfriend ever, she breaks up with me because I'm too nervous to hold her hand at couples skating at the skating rink. In college, in my Shakespeare class, I wrote 2 papers on the same book in the same course, and wait for it, I didn't know I did it. And friends, when I was in high school, when I sat in the pews that our students sit in now, I was bereft of peace. From the outside, it looked like I had it all together, but inside, I was spinning. Today, I'm married to my best friend, Dana, and we have 2 beautiful girls, and Hadley and Chloe. Hi, ladies. I went from failing my college midterm in Shakespeare to running a college prep class. Go figure. And today, I live with the peace and the joy that knows no end. So friends, Pacificans, if this knucklehead can figure out life after high school, you, Pacifica students, you're going to be just fine. So this week, we're going to begin by asking our freshmen the question, what is the meaning of life? I realize that's also funny. Nobody asked me that, I think, till maybe I was 22, and no one seriously asked me that till I was 26. And then at the end of this year, to our seniors, we will ask you, friends, how then shall you live? Now, I'm here to tell you how you live between that first question, what is the meaning of life, and that last question, how then shall you live, is going to be the basis and the foundation for your adult life far more than you can ever understand or imagine at this point in your life. Therefore, my encouragement to us today and this year is be present, stay committed, and give everything you have until God moves you on. Now, one of the hardest places to live is in the present. So many people around us, they live in 2 places, either in the hope of some coming future or in the glory of their past long gone. And they spend both of their whole life in these places. And I know that all of you know where you'll be tomorrow. At least I hope you do. The question I have for you is, what will you do with your time this year? Here's my experience observing high schoolers. You'll spend the next 4 years or a couple months building a resume to earn admittance to the top college of your choice. You'll then spend the next 4 years of your time there building a second resume to get your first job out of college. You're then going to spend several decades perfecting that resume to earn the job that gets you the means by which you hope to attain the good life. Now, I'm not saying that there's a lot of good things that can happen along this path. Many of these things incredibly good. But here's my caution to you today. Do not create the habit of always looking to the future while missing the moment right now, or the person to your left or to your right. Do not become so obsessed with your future that you miss what God is doing with you here. Our lives are not linear. What I mean by this is you can't say, I'm going to go to A and then B and then C and so on. You can't map these things out. We don't know what tomorrow will bring, so you must hold on to your plans lightly, making space for God to act, for Him to surprise you, to free you from your plans, to lead in a grand adventure full and complete with joy, mystery, and even uncertainty. When you think about your desire to change our world, and what I love about Pacifica students is this is one of your desires, to have great impact in the world. When you think about that, I want you to start this year, as Jill Briscoe would say, with the space between your 2 feet. Change the world right there. And then let God and your passions and your experiences guide you. Worry less about your future plans and be present with the people and the opportunities that are in front of you today. You can only live in the present. You don't really have a choice in this. And it's in the present where God and others are with you, where God is near, literally breathing peace and joy and mercy and goodness and reconciliation into your life. The greatest gift of being present comes from living each moment in the actual presence of God. As Brother Lawrence said, quote, "I urge everyone to be aware of God's constant presence, if for no other reason than his presence is where is delight to our souls and to our spirit." Which might seem really lofty language, but think about what you desire most. So this foundation that you are building in these high school years for your adulthood, it starts with being present, and it deepens as you make and keep lasting commitments. Up until today, your lives have been in constant change, right? In a very short period, you've moved from this very beautiful baby, one that your parents probably long for, or at least your mom does, to a self-sufficient, competent, we hope, emerging adult. Now, unless, of course, you're one of those teenagers that after buying your first carton of milk or doing your first laundry, you take a selfie and you post that to Snapchat with the hashtag adulting. If that's you, I want you to pay special attention to these next few minutes. But seriously, right? Over the last 10 years, most of you have probably attended 3 different schools. Some of you more. You've gone through puberty. Your body has changed. Your voice has changed. You've experienced success, you've experienced failure, you've changed your friend groups, and in a few months, seniors, or in a few years, the rest of us, you're going to trade everything you know today for some future and new reality. Approximately 4 years from then, you will graduate college or pursue a career, and then you'll enter into the marketplace. And at that time, Mom and Dad, according to Barna, 30% of them are coming back to you. And then all of you will continue to change jobs every 2 to 3 years on average. With this much change and uncertainty in life, it is incredibly difficult to learn how to make and keep commitments. And staying committed is not any easier. Let's look around us. People are constantly moving from one thing or person to the next in the hope that this time they will find what they are looking for, only to find that nothing has changed. They let their circumstances determine their commitments. Now at Pacifica, we are in a continual pursuit, as you've heard already, of things that are true and good and beautiful. Along the way, you're going to be given grace, and we're going to ask you to give it away also. We're going to develop your convictions alongside your curiosity. We're going to have you extend compassion to your classmates while you practice intellectual hospitality. And we do not ask you to do these things merely for a grade or to earn admittance to your top college choice. No, we ask you to do these things to teach you how to make lifelong commitments. Commitments to everything that is good and beautiful. A commitment to trust God. A commitment to live the way in which He's called you to. A commitment to do the work He has given to you. A commitment to do what is right and good, especially when it terrifies you. A commitment to live a life full of learning and the pursuit of joy. Ultimately, a commitment to a life of love. But you have to hear this. First, love of God. Then, a love of every human person who He brings into your life. Which, friends, that is in our entire community. Your accomplishments, I don't believe, will determine the quality of your life. Your commitments, however, I think they will. So resolve today to remain committed in your relationships, to your beliefs, to the church, and to whatever God wants to do in your life, no matter the circumstances. So I want you to be present. I want you to stay committed. And finally, I want you to give it everything you have until God moves you somewhere else. Friends, life is a grand adventure. It is. It doesn't always feel like that because we live it in the ordinary spaces of life. But it's an adventure. And I promise you that God is going to use everything about you to do His work in our world, if you let Him. If you let him, He's going to use your keen mind or your ability to read a room or the color of your skin or your love of people or your lack of confidence or your awkward smile. Remember I always talk about my teeth? Your awkward teeth. He's going to use all of this, the failures you've experienced, to bring about goodness in our world if you let Him. So do not run from who you are. You're the only one. God made you specific and unique for a purpose. Do not doubt your value or what you bring to every situation. You matter. And what you do in each moment and through each season, it matters. So in every season, trust that God's going to provide you with community, with meaning and purpose, and with work and new opportunities. And He will be with you throughout. And friends, this is where your work begins. So this year, if you find yourself interested in starting a side business or working your first job, give everything you have to create value and to spur on our economy. So if you're coming home from school and your mom texts you and says, we need to sit down and chat, and she shares with you that your grandfather has just been diagnosed with cancer, God forbid this happens. But if it happens, give everything you have to be present in his pain, not just for that moment, but for that entire season of his life. When your brother or sister is driving you crazy, might I add, the way you drive your parents crazy, love them. Give everything you have to love them. The day your teacher pulls you aside and gives you the praise of you're doing incredible work as they hand back an assignment that you gave everything to, stop and give thanks and give everything you have to remain with humility and continue in the good work. When God calls you to serve in the church or stand up for a friend who's being mistreated or to befriend a classmate who feels alone or to give what you have for the good of somebody else or to pick up your cross and to follow him, go. Go and give everything you have. I do not know what this year will look like for all of us, for any one of you. But as you continue your preparation for adulthood, be present, stay committed, and give everything you have until the Lord moves you on. Or as we say here at Pacifica, go and think and live well. And may the Lord be with us as we do. Much love and mad respect, friends. We'll see you tomorrow.